Okay, so this morning's class is a lead on from last week, and as always is a response to what's going on in the world. And it's very interesting because last year I spoke a lot about 2020 being a radical year of change. I couldn't foresee that these were the things that were going to unfold. But as painful as some of them are, and as uncomfortable as some of them are, I've certainly felt the discomfort of that. I feel like those of us who are stirred by it or read the messages that are coming through that it resonates with, that we are catalysts for change. And I think it's deeply important for us to understand that at some point in your yogic practice, and for all of us it is at a different point, but it is very important to understand that your yoga practice isn't in itself has a level of activism within it. And what that means is that you are becoming curious about the belief systems and the experiences and the thoughts that you have that create your values. And at this time, through COVID and now through this Black Lives Matter movement, is a very, very important time for us to take the tools that we practice with yoga, presence, awareness, a centered, calm heart and mind, and apply it to what we're being presented with. And look at the ways in which we individually can be a part of change. The yoga practice means union, which means that we're not in a unified state if it's just all about us. At some point, your yoga practice will start to extend beyond yourself. And in the way that I've been taught, this is really the liberation of the soul. When you start to understand the importance of yourself, but the important place of others, and the service of others, particularly those who don't have the same level of opportunity that you have. This is when the yogi really starts to activate and come into its full form. So what we're going to do today is Pranayama practice just to open up the left channel. So opening up Chandra, which is the moon, which is our intuitive channel. And we'll do a little bit of pranayama, but mostly in today's class we're going to sit for as long as we can with a heart meditation for a fearless heart. Last week we were focusing more on just feeling the heart and feeling into its current nature. And usually if I was with you face to face, we would spend a couple of weeks at a time on each of these, but just giving you these one a week so you can digest them. This particular meditation is a personal favorite, and one that I feel very called to practice at the moment. So let's find a comfortable, quiet seat. And again, if you have any lower back issues, please just make sure. I personally got a little blanket, a white blanket rolled up underneath my sit bones. So you can pop something underneath, something that is level and steady. But that will just take some pressure out of your knees and your lower back. And then I will get you to close down your eyes. And with your eyes closed, just let your awareness begin to drop inward. And start to pay attention to your breath. Without trying to change it or control it, just simply bring your intelligence, your awareness to it. And notice the way that your breath is currently moving in and out of your body. Notice the inhale and notice the exhale. Notice if there's a need for you to rush. If there is, just take a moment to let a little control come in and slow that down. And the amazing thing about the breath and the mind, pranamaya kosh and manamaya kosh, is that when the mind starts to focus on the breath, it instantly starts to reshape the pranic body and reshape the qualities of your mind. the simple act of paying attention to your breath is one of the most effective tools we have in our yogic practice. And now that you can feel your breath, just move your awareness through the rest of your body and start to pay attention to relaxing your face, your shoulders, your torso, your chest, all the way down into your sit bones. And when you arrive at your sit bones, just start to ground down through your tailbone. So feel that anchoring down into the earth. And tuck your tailbone underneath, lengthening out of your waist, right up into the crown of your head. Then tuck your chin in towards your chest and lift your heart space here. So lift the heart. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Keep the face soft. Relax the jaw. And let your tongue just soften inside the mouth. Eyes are softly closed. And again, bring your awareness into your breath. Notice if there's been any change. Let's start to breathe a bit more deeply now. So deepening your inhale, let your belly get full. And exhale, let everything contract inward. Inhale, belly is full, extending front, sides and back. And exhale, allow everything to contract inward. Just one or two more rounds of breath like this. Good. Let's leave our left hand where it is and take our right hand. And you're going to block your right nostril with your right thumb. And your other fingers can sit straight up. So you're going to channel Chandra Mudra here. So we're opening up the left, the feminine aspect of your mind and your body. So just allow the fingers to be straight up. Tuck your tailbone under, lengthen through the crown of your head. And just start to breathe as naturally as you can in and out of your left nostril. We'll be here for about 5 minutes. So the beauty of this practice is that it does some wonders for our digestive system. So for those of you who suffer from irritable bowel or an upset tummy or an inactive tummy, if your digestive system's a little slow, you can use Chandra Mudra just by breathing in and out of your left nostril. It's recommended for 30 minutes in the morning, but you can reduce it down to about 10 if you wish. So those are the benefits on a physical level, but on a pranic and mental and spiritual level, it will open up the intuitive capacity. So it takes you more into your emotional body, the subtle body. And here, as you continue to breathe in and out of your left, really pay attention to the continuity of flow through that pranic energy coming in. So the prana coming in, and the exhale, which is the apana. Just noticing any slight variations or changes as you move through this. We'll be here for 3 more minutes. Let's remove the right hand down. Inhale deeply through both nostrils. Slight pause at the top. Make sure that your belly is nice and full. Exhale, let everything contract inwards. Inhale deeply, long spine, soft face, full belly. Exhale, contract inwards. One more deep round of breath, full belly, long spine. And exhale, contract inwards. And before we move on, just remain for a moment with the eyes closed and notice the qualities here of your internal body. Notice the nature of your prana. How is the breath flowing? How is the breath moving internally? And notice the quality of your mind. Good. From here, let's gently open the eyes for a moment so I can explain the next practice, and then we can move into the final meditation together. So the next practice here, you have two options. This practice will just draw your attention inward, and in some practices, the mudra itself that we hold is known as womb mudra because it stimulates the feelings of being in the womb, which at the moment is a very healing place for us to be. So if you are someone that tends to get quite overwhelmed with your thoughts or your habits or stories that you get tangled in and lost in, this is a very good practice to cut through that and draw your attention inward and start nourishing from the in out. So you have two ways that you can practice this. You can either practice with the hands in the thumbs are going to rest in the ears and they'll press inward once we start practicing. And your fingers can just rest on top like this. So that's option number one. Option number two, and it doesn't matter which one you choose, just do the one that feels better for you. Two fingers will rest on closed eyelids. Your ring finger just above the lip and pinky just below. Thumbs in the ears. So take the mudra that you would prefer. And just for 5 rounds here, very simple, short practice. We're going to inhale deeply. Exhale, press the earbuds in and just listen to the breath. 5 rounds of breath, just listening internally. Whenever you finish your 5th round of breath, no rush, just take your time. Relax the hands down, and again with the eyes closed, take a moment to notice the effects of that practice. Notice how your pranic body is seated. Keeping the spine straight, face soft, heart open. Okay. So we're going to finish with our meditation for this morning. We're going to finish with Abhaya Hridaya Mudra meditation, and this meditation is sometimes translated as a meditation for a fearless heart or a meditation for a courageous heart. And as I said at the beginning of class, for those who have just joined in, this particular class, this particular practice I find very effective at poignant times. So in our toolbox of meditations, we have a few, and over time we gather the ones that resonate for us, and then we draw them out as we need them. And for me at the moment, and I'm sure some of you too, this is a very powerful mudra and practice. So the way that we practice is you take your two hands and just take them in front of the body. We'll move in nice and slow. It's a little complicated, this mudra. Then take your right hand up and over the left so that the two palms are back to back. Then take your right first finger, so your index finger, and wrap it over the top of your other index finger. Then your middle finger over the top of your left. Leave the ring finger and take your pinky finger and do the same. Then your ring finger should be free for you to connect the thumb. So I'll do that one more time, so release completely. So two hands, right up over left. Very important that you take the right finger up and over the left. If you take it under, you won't have the space. So over the top of the left for the index finger, middle finger, leave the ring finger open and take the pinky finger over the top. And that should leave you the space to have your ring finger connected with your thumb. And then you bring that just down in front of your heart space. And for this last few minutes of our practice, this is where we're going to be this morning. With the eyes closed. So this has created quite a strong seal in the body, physically and energetically. So over the first few minutes, this mudra will work to gather the scattered energy of the heart, given the heart is an air quality. It can become unstable quite quickly. That's why it needs the base, the earth, the grounded sit bone, balance in your hips through the water element, length and opening through the fire element, through your core body to stabilize the heart. And then lift and open your heart space and you relax your shoulders down. And here you're just going to breathe in and out of your nose. Just a simple breath in, simple breath out. And each time you breathe, you feel the gentle expansion of the heart as the breath comes in on the inhale. And exhale, the heart and the mudra move inward again. So we'll stay here for a couple of minutes. And your mind's focus is on your heart space. And as we start to gather the energy of our heart, what happens is the heart begins to liberate and find balance. When the heart is in balance, it musters a feeling of courage. The heart holds the qualities of compassion and joy and forgiveness. but it also has the capacity to hold courage. And we have seen this over time in leaders such as Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Rumi, Hafiz, Nelson Mandela, Malcolm X, Eddie Mabo. These people had a very strong will and a very anchored clarity into what they were here to do, but they always led with their heart. Just as they had that capacity, you have the same within you. So as you sit here and you gather your energy into the core of your heart, right into the heart center, once you start, and only once the heart's energy feels like it begins to feel more anchored and gathered, just quietly starting to ask yourself, how am I going to stand up for what matters to me? How am I actively going to participate in change that serves myself and my family and my community? How can my small action in the world have a ripple effect into the wider effect on humanity? And how can my courage liberate me to stand in justice and peace and equality for all? And you don't have to have the answers, and don't expect that the answers will come immediately. Just sit quietly with your heart and ask. And if there's any hesitation to ask those questions or to receive an answer, without any judgment, just allow yourself to become curious about why that is. Why is there a hesitation? Just a few more rounds of breath here. Let's inhale deeply together. And then exhale completely. Then simply dropping your head in towards your heart's wisdom, take a moment here. Then inhale, slowly unwrap the hands and close the hands in prayer. I acknowledge the divine life in you, which is also moving through me. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. That is our last online pranayama and meditation class until we open again next week, which is exciting. We'll be face-to-face again. And if you're going to join on Thursday for Kundalini at 7 till 8 a.m, as always, if you have any questions about this practice or particularly things that it brings up that you would just like an ear on, please reach out, and I'm happy to listen and offer advice where I can. And for those who have a bit more time this morning, I would recommend if you can sit in that meditation. What's the time? 8:04, but perhaps a little bit longer if you can. If that was really resonating and gathering your heart's energy, then I'd recommend that you sit for a little bit longer if you can. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I will see you soon. Bye.